What's up, guys? I just wanted to show you this new modulation rack that I made. So let's dive right in. I made this really poor sound in operator. It's just a typical bass, whatever. And then I'm gonna put an amp on it with some dry wet up high. Okay, it still sounds like crap, big doo doo. But anyways, I'm gonna put on this new modulation rack. I'm gonna show you kind of the features of it all really quick. So obviously we all know what a notch filter is. So we got that. No matter what, we always need that, right? So notch filter, and then we have that frequency shifter technique that a lot of people are using in new music, new dubstep nowadays. They use it on vocals, like FN uses it on vocals, and it's kind of used on different basses. Like Taboo, I know, kind of uses this technique with his like longer, drawn out, kind of grittier subs. But anyway, so I'll show you how this rack makes that work easily. So here, if we turn up the mod, it's going to basically activate it. And then we can adjust how much modulation or how fast it is rather by turning up the speed. Okay, so I like that. Now you can also use the notch with that, so get it kind of more Nero-y. Anyways, and then you can turn up, instead of having it be mono with modulation, you can turn the width on. So it gets even wider. I don't need that right now, but that could be really cool for tons of different applications. And then I kind of want this to be a little bit more crunchy, so I'm going to turn up the drive. And the drive has reverb on it as well, so it's pulling up the reverb slowly but surely with it. Makes it sound a lot bigger. And then I want that reverb to come out even more, so I'm going to have this OTT. I'm going to turn the OTT up, and it's going to bring it out like crazy. The one downside of the OTT is when you put it on a bass is it typically kind of drowns out the actual like sub frequencies. So I added a bass boost on this so that we can turn that up a little bit once you turn the OTT on. That way we just have that low end come back in just a little bit more, so we still have it. And then we can also turn down the high end if it's whatever sound you're using before this rack. Say it has a lot more high end and you turn on the drive, that's going to bring out a lot more of that high end and the OTT too, so you might want to cut the high out. So that could be really beneficial this can be beneficial for literally almost any use in EDM, really, for a lot of different things. So anyway, so now let's apply this to this really bad vocal that I recorded and see if we can kind of get that FN vocal sound really quick.
Come up in the club like.
God, that's bad.
Come up in the club like.
Okay, so anyways, we probably don't need the notch.
Come up in the club like.
It probably isn't really going to do it for us, so we'll probably just do the frequency shifting technique. So we'll turn the mod back up to around 40-something%. And then the speed up.
Come up in the club like. Come up in the club like. Come up in the club like. Come up in the club like.
And I feel like this kind of sounds dry, so that sounds fine with the modulation. So now I think we need to put the OTT on to be able to kind of bring it out a little bit so it feels more full.
Come up in the club like. Come up in the club like.
And maybe this drive we could add the reverb. Since it has reverb in it, it might fill it out a little bit.
Come up in the club like. Come up in the club like.
And that sounds good. And then we could probably just turn off. We could automate the speaker to turn off right before it, and then it could hit the drop.
Come up in the club like.
Whap, 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 So that works super easily too. And we could add that width if we want.
Come up in the club like. Come up in the club like.
And that sounds a lot like the FN samples to me. But yeah, you can adjust that however you want. You can make it slower, faster. You can have more modulation.
Come up in the club like.
But it's all here. It's all easy inside that rack. You don't have to throw in a bunch of different effects and try to make it all work. So, anyways, but yeah, so this is available on my Patreon. Feel free to go grab it. And yeah, have a great day.